Welcome to the 2021 New York City Candidates Forum, brought to you as a public service by the Henry George School of Social Science. The shortage of housing and high rental costs are issues that many New Yorkers, especially millennials, are struggling with. How do you plan to address this problem?
So there are a few things we need. We have the majority of what is actually constituted as universal rent control, but we do need to make sure that we also add in the idea of rent stabilization and actually controlling the rent of a lot of the buildings that are built and the apartments that are built here. Um, the second thing is the people that have actually managed to make housing so unaffordable in our city are the developers, especially big commercial real estate developers who have been spot rezoning, and those rezonings have been kind of leading to the rise in rents. So making sure we fight back against those developers and developments that actually don't benefit our community, and making sure what we build is actually things that our community wants and needs is the second part. The third is making sure we build more social and public housing rather than luxury developments. Um, why are we not allowed to build more NYCHA housing? Why are we not allowed to build much more actually affordable housing, which is done with for people who are below 50% of the area median income?
Blighted and vacant parcels dot New York City, especially in the outer boroughs. What strategies do you support to put them back into productive use for both families and commerce?
As the daughter of a former small businessman who always struggled with the rent for his store, I believe that commercial rent control, in the sense of actually controlling the rent, is also very necessary. I also believe in a fee at the city level or a tax at the state level on empty units that would actually de incentivize real estate speculation. I understand how important that's going to be in making sure that we actually utilize the space that we have instead of claiming we need to build more. We have space, we need to use it properly. The other thing is just to kind of go on with that, luxury units that are also empty, that are residential, should also have the same kind of fee or tax. Um,
New York has had recent experiences with upzoning, Flushing and Murray Hill, for example. Evidence indicates upzoning capitalizes onto increased land values. What is your view on upzoning?
Upzoning has this really negative connotation, and it's for a good reason. A lot of the upzoning that we've had so far is actually what also partly contributes to the rise in rents. A lot of people associate it with a rise in land value, which makes rent unaffordable and makes housing unaffordable, as well as commercial rent. Um, I believe in a comprehensive land use plan, and I believe that we have to establish a regular process for regular citywide comprehensive land use planning. I believe we need to think more holistically about what we build and where, depending on what that community needs. And I also believe that we have to make sure that when we're looking at a zoning change, we have to make sure the community is much more involved. I believe in an elected community board. I believe in bringing them out of an advisory role and turning them into a check for council members so that we actually have a balance of power there. I also believe in making sure that these positions are paid so that lower income people actually have a say and have a shot at running. I know that for myself, I wouldn't be able to run without the matching funds program. So I want to give people who want to run for a community board program or position the same kind of opportunity.
With large development and infrastructure projects such as Hudson Yards and the Second Avenue subway extension, would you consider supporting land value capture strategies to return that land value uplift to its creators, the taxpayers?
Yes, I do, is the short form. And I oppose a lot of the existing mega developments, including the proposal for Sunnyside Yards, in cases But in cases where development is actually socially useful and necessary, we can use things like special assessment districts to impose property taxes on specific developments on a value added basis and fund public infrastructure improvements through a tax increment financing vehicle. We could also impose a one time fee on specific developments based on their projected impact through transit development impact fees. And this way, the taxpayer is returned a significant proportion of the value that they have put into these developments through increased public infrastructure and services in areas um, such as transit and schools and sanitation, infrastructure, and green spaces. And those are things that we can do. And I believe that we have to vastly rethink the kinds of developments we actually approve.